There we go. We'll drop a bunch of those, pick up a resist corrosion ring. Again, just all of the rings were apparently hiding in this one branch of the game. So we're finally getting an opportunity to fulfill the whole point of playing as an octopode. Fill out on all those fancy dancy rings. And when we look at that, we're even through the end of Spider 3. And we can check in. We're just constantly getting more mutations. So our tentacle spike got even bigger, even better. So that's kind of nice. I think that is just an ambient auxiliary attack. So I'll take it. I hope that that is one of the mutations that manages to stick around. And there we go. Ghost Moth Buddy. Is resistant to poison. Oh, and is resistant to cold. That's why you were a pain to take out with the Wand of Cold. That's good to know. Well, let us... Oops. I was hoping to just attract the couple of spiders here, but of course running into the web does cause us to make some noise and alert a lot of spiders, which is something that I always seem to forget on my own. But we should be good. We have a bunch of allies pop in to help us out here. We do now have the ability to see invisible as well, which is nice. So we should be able to take out this this ghost moth without too much trouble. Especially if the orb spiders help us out. Taking each other out even there. Not too bad. One of the classic tricks for dealing with orb spiders is to sick an army of followers on them, because they won't be quite as proactive about running away from your followers as they are from a player themselves. Wow, that is a lot of orb spiders though. I'd very much prefer not to let them all get a shot off. Okay, that's rough. 2 orbs of destruction, 2 more orbs of destruction. Excuse me, I'm just out of here, please. Thank you, thank you. Perfect. Very fortunate that they're all weak to poison and that we got just enough magic points in order to apply said poison. Only, of course, we immediately pay for our luck by getting teleported into what I believe is the rune vault up the level, with almost no mana on our side. Rough stuff. Ghost of, or not a ghost moth this time around, but a moth of wrath is absolutely brutal when, like we mentioned earlier, paired with spiders in general, but specifically when paired with these wolf spiders, they start to hit absurdly hard. So let's hope that we can avoid that fate and take them out in time. It does seem like it at the very least. Even though we get enraged this time around, good stuff. Double slowed, both for being in statue form and for coming out of berserk status. Love it. And so it continues. The noise that we make just draws on all of the critters and creatures of the level. Come to me. Perfect. Definitely going fairly smoothly, all things considered. This branch is still going well, even with the ridiculousness that is Zom themselves. Last spider, maybe, just maybe? Perfect. So we finally get the opportunity to regain all of our magic points just in time for a ghost moth to show up, of course. The most classic of situations. Well, let's see. Let's use some of our magic points right away just to do something with them before the ghost moth takes it all away. I guess IMB, our little blasty attack, might be the best move here. Okay, we're immediately in said situation, out of mana. So let's back ourselves into a corner where hopefully any orbs of destruction will hit the ghost moth instead of us. In fact, I'm actually kind of curious. These buddies keep shooting orbs of destruction towards us. And I think it's, yeah, they can't see invisible, so they can't even see their own friend is between us, or standing between us. I think. Maybe not, since they're no longer firing. Maybe that was just wistful thinking on my part. Jeez Louise. It can't walk directly into an orb. That's interesting. Never tried to do that before, weirdly enough. Makes sense in its own right, of course. Here we go. Oh me, oh my. It would be very heartwarming if we could somehow manage to pull out a win, even with Zom as our god since the very start of the game. On top of that, I'm impressed that we've even managed to get this far on its own. Let's see, statue form, a decent number of Emperor Scorpions is a wee bit rough. Trying to think if there's any way I can use the doors to our advantage. Fortunately, spiders aren't very great at using doorknobs, so if we're able to somehow close a door on these Woody's faces, it would come across in a positive way for us. But beggars can't be choosers, so we'll have to see if we luck out in that regard. And oh my gosh, a ghost moth already. Dang it. Here I thought that we might be able to get through this fight without having to resort to too many panic measures. I was very much wrong here. So that ghost moth will immediately suck away all of our magic points. May take a sip while we debate for a second which of our evocables I want to put into use against this buddy. So the condenser vein is really nice. Doesn't always work depending on which clouds we get. If we get poison, it's not great for us. Oh, and actually now that I put it that way, I might want to use it first. The thing that I was going to bring up, the downside, is that we could save the condenser vein for if we draw a whole lot more monsters our direction with the amount of noise that we're about to cause. But the reason why I hesitate in the middle of that thought was realizing that if we get poison clouds, we might want time in order to deal with that simple fact, instead of relying on our condenser vein to get us out of a bad spot and then getting screwed over. So let's just pop it open, shall we? When we get fire. Okay, fire is actually amazing for us, I think. I would very much prefer if that ghost moth stayed in sight. In fact, if both of them stayed in sight and in the fire, that would be absolutely fantastic. Ideal in many different ways. Let's see how it goes. We could stack on a couple tremor stones here if we start to get desperate. The fire is managing to, at the very least, clear out a lot of the spawns around the ghost moths. And if it's just a couple of those bad boys on their own, we should be a-okay. Holy cow. Yeah, well, we definitely lucked out with the type of clouds that we pulled from the condenser vein there. Huge advantage for us relative to how this could have gone for sure. Okay, and there's the last ghost moth. Definitely need to focus down this buddy if possible. Especially, we do not want to lose our statue form here while we're sitting at 0 magic, surrounded by spiders with no other source of poison resistance. Not exactly ideal at the very least. And here we go. We finally get to a situation where we can close the door in everyone's face. Hopefully, save ourselves some trouble. Jeez Louise. It's at least a good opportunity to heal up, get all our magic back, using the power of doors, the strongest of all structures. And there we go. Have our first rune, just like that. I would say no problems whatsoever, but not especially true. Especially when Zom turns a spider into a winddrake for some reason. At the very least, that's a fairly equivalent power level, so at the day, it's not horrible, especially on its own, because it could have been a whole lot worse. or a whole lot better even, as we see that the next spider gets transformed into a black bear. Normally not a sentence you'd be saying. I'd much rather run into the majority of spiders over running into a black bear out in the wild, but fantasy's weird like that sometimes, right? Hey, Sea Puppy, how's it going? Glad to see you around again. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Oops, definitely want to continually keep that statue form going. Let's not take any unnecessary risks, shall we? Perfect. Again, it's just so strange that our accidental teleportation, I should say, straight into this end vault actually kind of worked out for us in a lot of ways. We were able to take care of everyone. And I didn't actually fully internalize or realize that there was a closed door that blocked off this section. So we were actually able to just deal with a contained unit of enemies, which is kind of nice, instead of having to face an entire floor. Though, of course, we immediately go against all that because we need to get the heck out of here now. I'm hoping we've still dealt with the worst of the floor in the 3 or ghost moths that we've fought already. Ideally, we don't have to handle anything too much worse than that. Okay, Zom is just lately making everything glow weird colors, so I'll take that. That's definitely not too scary. As long as they don't send me to the abyss again, I think I'll be quite peachy. And there we go. Just about done our first S branch here. And we left Swamp alone due to Louise. I'm curious, now that we have at least one extra pip of willpower, it will slightly reduce the chances that we get banished by her. Because we, again, definitely don't want to end up down in the abyss again anytime soon. Kind of curious, maybe if we hop up through the levels here, Louise's image sprite should still be around. We're lucky. So maybe, just maybe. Never mind. It is not anywhere to be seen. Unfortunately, she was blinking out of sight instead of us leaving her somewhere. I was hoping to get a quick examine in order to see what the chances of being banished were without having to risk seeing her in person and actually getting banished. But it was not meant to be, so we could roll the dice and see how that is. I think it's down to the like 15 to 17% range, something like that. Hey Wad, how's it going? Hope your dungeon crawls have been going well. I'm trying my best to contribute something to our team since I've been very much falling behind the rest of you kiddos. Which I definitely don't mind, thanks for the carry, but I'd like to contribute to the team as well. So we're back on with the Octopode here. Or Roctopode, as we've been so affectionately calling them. And we even got our first rune already today, so that's nice. Next up, maybe actually just the regular dungeon. We'll take a short break from this nonsense. And we'll head back out. Now that we have seen Visible, we should be fine to deal with all of the unseen horrors and vampires and all that nonsense out in the main dungeon. Especially since I don't believe we've been back out there since we got statue form fully online. So I'm hoping it just might be a bit of a breeze compared to what we're used to. We'll have to see. Right, we did miss some of this floor just due to our unfortunate teleportations towards monsters. Let's finish this off real quick. It is some nice experience. Lost your gargoyle on your 3rd rune. Mark V picked up a 14 rune win though. That's awesome. Yeah, I did see them going through. I think I popped in when they had just finished defeating the royal jelly, but they were AFK, so I just popped a little message of luck on. But every once in a while I was checking back in and I saw they were even doing some Zig clearing, which was awesome. So I do believe that that also ramps up the point values. That was definitely, yeah, some good work. And I'm sorry to hear about your gargoyle, because I do know that that can always be a pain when you lose on the third rune itself. Especially if you were hoping to retreat out after getting said rune. You're playing an Octopode now, maybe you'll get some luck. No Zom though. Perfect. I would never want anyone else to put themselves through it. It's been an absolute mind-blowing experience of ridiculousness. Especially that early banishment. Definitely let me know how the Octopode run goes. I hope that you're also able to find some rings at a decent pace instead of having to wait until you get to this stage in the game. Just earlier in this stream today, we finally managed to fill out the rest of our tentacles because for whatever reason, all of the rings were hiding down here in Spider. But hey, we got them eventually, right? So we're sitting at a pretty ridiculous overall intelligence thanks to this, and our resistances are finally in a good place now, which you love to see. And hey, Walioto, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it a whole lot. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day so far, and hope to see you around some more in the future. Oh yeah, you found a willpower ring on D1 or D2? Well, you don't have to brag about it. That's exactly what I want right now. That's all I've been asking for. But no, in all seriousness, very happy to hear it. All fighting for the same team. Okie dokie. Let us get out of here, shall we? I'm hoping that we can make it out in one piece. Unfortunately, Roxanne is guarding our stairs here, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. But as long as she doesn't blink us close and then immediately follow it up with multiple Lahudib's Crystal Spears, should be okay. Perfect. Thank you, Roxanne, for taking it easy. And with that, let us go out to the dungeon. Head down to D11, finally take care of that unseen horror. Yes, we should be okay now, game. Thank you for the annotation warning, though, of course. And where did I leave that, buddy? I can just do some quick trolling through the map with my mouse just to find them. Somewhere near the stair still? Perfect. Hello, friend. Let's also take a look at some of your stats. Oh, you do. I thought they were resistant to poison. We could have taken this buddy out the whole time. Oh, I'm a fool. Oh well. All is fine as long as we didn't waste too many resources taking care of them in the first place, which I don't think we had to, fortunately enough. And so, let us continue. Back out to the regular dungeon. And hopefully everything will feel a little bit almost easy relative to the absolute chaos that we've been going through, even though I'm sure Zom will make sure that that is not the case and that things stay interesting at the very least. Still so upset about that that gauntlet there that we managed to miss out on by like one turn exactly. So sad. But right, we can go check out this fancy stick here. I'm very happy with our Demon Trident that is vampiric, but I was hoping that this rapier would potentially have like a whole lot of intelligence stacked on it. Could use it as a bit of a stat stick. Not the case in the end, but that's all right. We'll just keep her moving here. Hello, Orc. Don't worry, we'll get to you eventually, bud. And here we go, the rematch with the Fire Dragon. In a much better spot ourselves this time around, though. And in fact, let's just blow this buddy up a few times. Love to see it. Perfect, and should be able to finish off with the trident so much easier than it was the last time we found ourselves at these depths. Let's go meet this orc. We did promise after all. Oh, never mind. Oh, we might have just killed them by accident. Whoops, sorry, I didn't say hi, bud. And what about a boulder beetle? I think we should still be in a better spot even for dealing with this son of a gun than we have been in the past. Perfect. It's so strange when you take a break from a floor that was giving you such trouble and come back with this much more experience. All of a sudden it's just an absolute cakewalk, all things considered. Oh, hello. Bunch of centaurs, melee. Oh my gosh, this is crazy looking vault of enemies. I guess we're gonna just keep moving. Keep that toxic radiance affecting all these buddies while they body block each other. Love to see it. Specifically, I'm looking at that Tengu Conjure and that Cyclops. Want no part of that. Perfect, though. Oh, geez Louise. This must be our entrance to vaults? I'm guessing with that vault guard showing up at the very least. So there we go. That does make sense here. Jeez. What an eclectic mix of monsters here. A strange group of friends. There we go. Not too bad whatsoever. Oh, come on. No! Zom, we were doing okay. Only ever teleports us into danger or out of a situation that we're doing absolutely fine in. But what else could you expect, of course? It's weird. Now that we've gone to this stage in the game, I'm almost committed to somehow making it through in one piece, even with Zom as our deity here. I'm sure people do it all the time, especially since, I mean, Chaos Knight is just legitimately starting background, so you could have Zom from the very first moment of your journey through the dungeon. But I don't have much personal experience with Zom besides the occasional run where I decided it might be fun to try them out and then immediately crashed and burned into the ground. So it's weird getting this far and seeing just how many mutations begin to stack up over the course. Oh right, we sometimes lose the ability to read scrolls when taking damage. Oh right, blurry vision got changed. That's, in many ways, so much more approachable, so much easier to deal with than the old blurry vision. I kept panicking in the Abyss when we got that as a temporary mutation from some of the star buddies. That's actually not horrible, because I'm the luckiest person alive, right? There's no way that that effect will even take place. I'm sure that we'll always be able to read scrolls. And as long as we keep telling ourselves that with enough confidence, it has to be true. Okie dokie. We also keep filling our inventory up to the brim here, which is a pain in the butt. But there's not a lot that I really want to drop. Maybe this positive energy ring. We have a consistent 2 pips of positive energy, so don't need that. What else? What else? There were a few things that we were holding off dropping just because I didn't want to leave them stranded in that spider section. But I guess now is the time to potentially do some of that work. Perfect. And let us just continue on. Love it. We'll take this Hydra upstairs so that I'm not dealing with any wizard nastiness. Well, we did finally get 1 more pip of willpower thanks to our hat. We're still not in the best of places, and in fact, this might be a good opportunity to see. Banishment is down to 12%. It's not horrible. It's still scary, though, in its own right. I want to take these buddies out as quickly as possible, for sure, at the very least. Perfect. Please change color. Please change color. I'd like you all to, not be resistant to my poison, if possible. That would be nice. I guess that's fine. We'll just go into statue form and fight our way through in the old-fashioned way. Actually, now is a good opportunity as they do eventually manage to change into a more appropriate color for our build style here. Love to see it. And again, I feel like I'm still in panic mode. I'm still used to when we were struggling so much. Even though I keep mentioning it over the last 15 minutes or so. still, for whatever reason, has me very concerned. Corrosion, always a bit of a pain in the butt. I'm hoping we'll be okay here. Could always start actually using some IMB nastiness if we start to panic. Hey TVD, you can see the stream notification. Quick summary of what happened so far. So we went through all of Spider, we managed to just sneak past Roxanne to enter and get our first rune, which was nice. Only a few moments of panic involved. And then Swamp is looking a little bit trickier thanks to Louise showing up. We originally saw her when we just had 1 pip of willpower, so I was completely unwilling to risk another trip down into the abyss this early on in our day. But we have picked up a hat of willpower from an acquirement scroll since then, so there is a bit of a silver lining there at the very least, and we might be able to take her on a bit more effectively. I just wasn't sure if even a 15% was quite what I was willing to deal with in terms of banishment chances. So we came back out to the regular dungeon here, and so far, this area has essentially been a breeze compared to what we've been dealing with over the last little bit. Nice on the rune. Yeah, Louise is too scared with low will. You usually want to have 3 pips. Exactly. So ideally, we'll be able to find one more source of willpower before we head back into Swamp for a second rune. But we do have a little bit of dungeon to explore in the time being, so maybe, just maybe, it will all work out in the long run here. In fact, if these slime creatures approach us like this, it's awesome, because our IMB ensures that they split in such a way that they won't be able to combine. Hopefully won't have to run away quite such a scary situation as we were just focused on, especially since this time I don't have quite enough mana to make it back to a stairway in one piece. There we go, perfect. Thanks, Zom. That's exactly what I wanted here. Another banishment wizard, another Hydra, what fun. Perfect. Fortunately, the wizards keep wasting turns going invisible. I guess that was another decent moment or highlight of today, was getting a See Invisible ring just in time to deal with everything past the first ghost moth. The first ghost moth we had to take care of the old-fashioned way ourselves. It was a little bit scary, but only because we had no idea what health they were at the whole time, as we just blasted them over and over again with wands. But that has definitely made me feel a bit more comfortable about the rest of our journey here. Ooh, buckler fire resistance. I mean, I was about to switch off of my buckler, but for the time being, why not? Let's drop our old buddy here, pick that up, and do wield where. I always mix up which one is capital W and which one is lowercase w. You think you can choose Louise with invisible too, but not 100% sure. That is something that is always good to keep in mind for sure. I've definitely saved a couple characters' lives by just happening to remember at the last second to get invisible or to check that they can see invisible or not. So I'll keep an eye out for the future here. Not too bad. Inventory just constantly full though. That's the one painful part about where we've been here. Guess I might as well drop this protection from fire ring. We can always come back to pick it up if we really need it. Yet have at least 1 pip ambiently at all times already. And we'll definitely drop the berserk potion that I just picked up. Free up just a wee bit of space for ourselves. Yeah, otherwise things are going well. It's nice to be back out in the dungeon. Relatively simple, at least more straightforward. Though, of course, not quite fortunate enough yet to find ourselves with that extra pip of willpower. But I hold out hope still. Interesting. These 2 different chambers? Hey team, played some more last night, finished Hells, although Erish Keygold got a bit dicey. Nice, way to go. Yeah, we also had Mark B from over on YouTube managed to get a 14 rune victory, which was awesome. I think they even did a bunch of ziggurat floors on the run, so that was super handy. Very well done. Oh, no, that is just a dead end. Okay. At the very least, have woken up this vault, so let's run over and maybe check out. Now that we've woken everything up, maybe they'll come to the door and we can see how manageable it is. Generally, these optional vaults are never worth it. They're almost always scarier than they seem. Maybe not this time around. Vault should have all 4 elementals. Okay. So yeah, we definitely saw the water one, saw the earth, saw the fire. Are there air elementals? There should be, right? There are wind drakes. Hello, friends? I think we can take that. I don't know if there's any real point to opening up this vault. I'm not really gaining anything. I guess one scroll of Identify might be nice. We can see what another one of these potions are. Maybe it'll even be a useless potion, and I can drop it. Because at the end of the day, I value convenience over anything. And actually, scratch that. I'm actually going to go for the scroll here instead. Because it's nice to get some of these higher level scrolls identified at the very least. We did already find our acquirement, but silence is pretty nice too, especially for certain situations. We could even, we're really getting desperate for taking care of Louise. We can use the silence scroll to prevent any horrible situations there. Didn't have air, I guess, maybe a different vault than the one you saw. Yeah, for whatever reason, the air elemental got changed into a centaur. I guess to note might be the fact that I wasn't paying attention, and right when we stepped into sight, Zom transformed the air elemental into the centaur warrior, because that very much seems to be one of Zom's favorite activities this run in particular, is turning all of our enemies into different beasties. So I'd very much blame Zom before I blamed your memory there. Yeah, might as well finish this fight here. Guess what are the odds of you paralyzing us? That's important, right? 14%. It's not horrible. We should be good, I believe. You blame / praise Zom. Well, yeah, when it comes to Zom, it's absolutely the same thing either way. So when you curse Zom, I'm pretty sure they find that entertaining in its own right. As an agent of chaos, the more frustrated we get, the more they laugh. Of course. Nothing appears to happen. Ominous. I agree, game. When Zom laughs and nothing strange is going on around you, that's when you get real concerned about what they have up their sleeve. Yeah, let's drop rocks one more time, and in fact we'll go through the effort this time around of heading in here, turning them off auto pickup, because I don't think we'll be worrying too much about sandblasts for the rest of the run. Can also turn off some of these evocables that we've already picked up. Perfect. Save us some trouble down the line. Oh, hello, Ice Giant. We have 1 pip of our cold. We do indeed. And I should be more than happy to just come face you. Octopode to Giant. Perfect. Not too bad whatsoever. Oh, jeez. Paralyzed? What are the odds of you paralyzing me? Trying multiple charges, but not line of fire. Interesting. And it's unavoidable. I thought this was a willpower check. That might have been changed. That is scary indeed. Let's try and blast this thing out of the skies, shall we? Perfect. Not too bad whatsoever. All things considered. Fun. Necromancer and a few demonologists. The demonologists at least are very susceptible to our poison, so even if they manage to call in a lot of friends, hopefully we'll be able to take them down ambiently as they do so. Definitely don't focus on the summons, please, character. I'm happy that we decided to check where our auto attack would have taken us there, because very much interested more so in taking out this very ugly white thing. Truly scary critter. Oh my gosh, stop bringing in demons, please. There we go. Never a doubt in my mind. And yet another artifact. This one, we could use the evocable blink potentially as a bit of a stat stick type thing, but still not quite what we're looking for as a potential offhand replacement. Let's make sure to poison right away so that we don't deal with the melee just smiting us left and right. Holy cow, this is a very interesting floor, just full of all of these little treasure chambers. Definitely not complaining, mind you. I'd love to fill out our build a little bit. I mean, a jewelry shop is what we obviously want the most here. If you could please send one our way, game. In fact, that's pretty much good enough for me. Getting an artifact ring. So, okay, I'll take that. That's actually a good trade-off. Thanks, RNG. I guess thanks, Zom. You know, we can, again, give Zom all of the credit, all of the blame for everything that happens to us throughout the course of the run. Why the heck not? Praise and hate be for Zom. Perfect. No. I immediately go to the next kind of greedy wish fulfillment that I want, because if this ring has willpower on it, that would be pretty sweet. Let's see, fly, resistance to fire, strength +2, dex +4, and a subtraction to stealth. Well, I will say that that beats out our straight up protection from fire ring. So let us, okay, drop something first. Sorry, game. Trying to cheat the system there. You caught me. Let's drop this. We could drop our hand crossbow of chaos. I'm not using it. Let's drop it for now, just so that it saves me some slight trouble of having to rearrange inventory every few minutes here. And immediately put on our fancy dancy new ring. Perfect. It's not quite what we were looking for, but it's definitely no complaints for me. Ideally, we'll be ending this run with a full complement of artifact rings. See how it goes, of course.